His Highness Sheikh Ahmed bin Saeed Al Maktoum, President of Dubai Civil Aviation Authority and Chairman and Chief Executive of Emirates Airline, officially opened the 16th edition of the Dubai Airport Show today. His Highness Sheikh Ahmed bin Saeed toured the exhibition where over 300 exhibitors from 55 countries are showcasing their latest technologies and services related to the global aviation sector. According to organisers, over 7,000 trade professionals are expected to attend the three-day event, along with senior representatives of international airports from around the world. According to the Dubai Civil Aviation Authority, the aviation sector contributes around 30% towards the Emirates' overall GDP, and their aim is to increase their contribution by enhancing their capacity to handle over 200 million passengers a year by 2030. According to the DCAA Director General, at present, aircraft movements average around 1,250 a day, with expectations of securing an average growth rate of 8% year on year. During the opening day, His Highness Sheikh Ahmed bin Saeed also revealed that the first tender as part of the expansion to increase the capacity of Al Maktoum International at Dubai World Central to 120 million passengers a year will be awarded towards the end of this month.
The first phase for the PTP already started for the 25 million expansion for the the first facility we have there. I think the first tender should be on the 28th of this month, if I am not wrong.
We actually participate in almost 30% of the Dubai budget, in the business side. So I think that's quite a lot, and we continue to do that. And aviation is very important for us. And as you know, Dubai is the first city in the world to declare, open sky. Since 1937, we are open sky. When we signed with Great Britain in 22nd July in 1937, we tried to be the best, in everything. Also to reach the vision of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed.
In line with the increased capacity in Dubai, neighbouring state Oman aims to list the new under-development Muscat International Airport among the top 20 airports in the world. According to Oman Airports Management Company, passenger traffic at the current Muscat International Airport increased by a rate of 18% between 2014 and 2015 to handle 10.3 million passengers, while the new Salalah Airport also exceeded the 1 million passenger mark for the first time. In order to increase the sector's contribution towards the national economic growth, the new airport in the capital will have a capacity to handle 12 million passengers per annum and is expected to be completed by next year.
The government have made a very wise decision 5 years ago to build and construct 5 airports in one go. Salalah Airport was opened last year. Muscat Airport will be open shortly. Duqm, Sohar and Ras Al Had airports, the runways are already opened, Code F compliant runways, and buildings are under construction as we speak. We really believe in the aviation industry, that it is the face of the country. It actually is the first and last impression for the visitor. We would like always to make sure that we expand according to the growth of the market. We need to give a variety of selections for the passenger. If he's living in the north of the country, then he has Sohar Airport. If he's in the south of the country, he has Salalah Airport. Center of the country, it's Duqm and Ras Al Had, and the capital city is Muscat. So we'd like to reach the client, not make the passenger run and reach us.
James Hogan has been named Chief Executive of Etihad Aviation Group, an umbrella company created to contain Etihad's Airways' growing interests. The chairman of the aviation group's board of directors, Mohammed Al-Mazroui, made the announcement Sunday, stating that the group will also include the formation of new companies, including Etihad Airways Engineering, Etihad Global Cargo Management Company, the Global Loyalty Company, Hala Abu Dhabi and Etihad Airport Services. Mr. Al-Mazroui added that the acquisition of minority equity stakes in Alitalia, Air Berlin, Air Serbia, Air Seychelles, Etihad Regional, which is operated by Darwin Airline, Jet Airways and Virgin Australia, has also necessitated the need for a dedicated team to manage our shareholding and the delivery of wide-ranging synergies that are beneficial to all parties. Mr. Hogan, who has been Chief Executive of Etihad for the past decade, will be Chief Executive of Etihad Aviation Group, an umbrella company formally established in 2014. Peter Baumgartner, who has been with the company since 2005, takes over as Chief Executive of the airline. Etihad Aviation Group will have about 27,000 employees, with just over 20,000 working for Etihad Airways. Governments in the Gulf are expected to raise between $255 to $390 billion by 2020 by selling both international and local debt, as pressure grows on public finances due to the low oil price. The GCC countries are expected to post a total fiscal deficit of about $318 billion between 2015 and 2016, according to the GCC's Sovereign Debt 2016 report. Despite spending cuts announced across the GCC, Qatar expects to post a deficit of $13 billion this year, its first budget deficit in 15 years, while Saudi Arabia reached a deficit of $99 billion in 2015, with an estimate of $88 billion for 2016. A Bloomberg report stated that Qatar will seek to raise up to $5 billion from a planned bond sale as early as this month, its first since 2011, with the Gulf country carrying the third highest investment grade rating from Standard & Poor's. Meanwhile, Abu Dhabi expects to post a wider budget deficit of $10.1 billion in 2016 because of the low oil prices, and plans to cover the gap mainly with international bond issues. Local, regional and international executives gathered at the Strategy Execution and Performance Forum in order to explore the latest international and regional best practices for implementing strategic goals, executing plans and cascading them throughout organisations. According to participants, the conference examines key themes around converting strategic objectives into business performance at an organisational, departmental and individual employee level. Participants were able to examine case studies for various companies, as well as benchmarking sessions in the areas of creating action plans and evaluating their success. Additionally, the conference featured fully certified practical workshops, where attendees who pass a short assessment will receive certificates from the strategic and academic partners of the forum. According to speakers, companies and government agencies who implement effective techniques for strategy execution and business performance measurements will have the focus, efficiency and flexibility to thrive. They also spoke about how crucial it is that organisations focus on results and that it is essential that they correctly identify the initiatives that contribute most to their success and concentrate their resources on them. Key to this, according to participants, is ensuring employees are aligned and completely engaged in delivering the strategic objectives to their day-to-day work. Organisations should also ensure that they are agile and have robust procedures for monitoring and adapting their strategy execution.
First of all, we believe in Schneider that there is no one-fit-all secret of success. But at the same time, when it comes to strategy and strategy execution, what we've learned over the past years in transforming the Schneider Electric strategy is that we need to make sure that there is an organizational alignment is there, that the strategy is bought in by all the stakeholders of the group. The second important element is make sure that the strategic plans are granular enough and they're specific enough, so to make sure that the execution could be assessed and traced. And finally, I believe that it's all about customer. So if the customer is completely not a part of the strategic initiatives, then it's not going to work. So in Schneider, we've learned that the customer should be should be in the loop, definitely.
I think good organizations, they understand the balance between the different functions in an organization. In the end, you have to empower your employees. If they are empowered and they understand that there is a clear strategy, they can perform. And you have to, whenever you form any function, whenever you form any restrictions, you have to think from their perspective. You have to make sure that things are not binding people, rather they're guiding people towards meeting the goals. And I think if you look at a comprehensive way at your organization, and you make sure that all the different pieces are linked together, then people can execute the plans and the strategies. Our workforce is getting younger, they're different, they don't like hierarchies and rigid structures, so we should use that in our organizations. And once you provide them that space to move around, once you take their input, once you engage them in the conversations, then they are more engaged into the whole strategy execution process.